Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of 9 R.I.P. running on Nintendo Switch 2. Actually, at this time yesterday, Santa was in front of the station. Yesterday, he was mixed up in the crowd, but how about today? I scanned the area until I found Santa. He appeared to be talking with someone. Who could he be talking to? I slowly walked closer before stopping short. For some reason, Santa was talking to Raika. Without thinking, I quickly hid. Why is Raika talking to Sena? But I soon realized it wasn't all that strange. Raika was Koyo's girlfriend, after all. Being friends with Koyo, it would make sense that Sena knew Raika. When I saw that Raika had left, I decided to approach him. Sena, good afternoon.
君は僕のファンかな君にも見つかっちゃうなんてな
Well, I had a feeling he'd forget. My shoulders sank in disappointment, and Sena's expression quickly changed.
またそんなに落ち込んで
What? He said again, right?
あれごめん急に何言ってるんだろう
He seemed to recognize me earlier than yesterday. Without thinking, I giddily took both his hands and looked directly at him. You remember me, don't you?
なんでそれは
I come here every day to meet you.
毎日君に
That's right. Yesterday, I met you here at this exact time. We went for a walk in the city together. In the evening, we went to my school, and you met a fan of yours, a ghost. Then at night, you, Koyo, and I stayed up late in the park and watched the stars.
そうだった気が
So you remember?
あんまり
After getting my hopes up so high, my shoulders again fell in disappointment.
ねちょっと思い出した気がするよ
It's okay. You don't need to pretend.
そうじゃないよ詳しくは思い出せないけど君のことは初対面だと思えないんだ 確証はどこにもないんだけど君のことが気になるのは確かでごめん矛盾してるよね
Not at all. It makes perfect sense to me. He shouldn't know me, but he knows he does. That was enough for me. I'm glad we could meet again today. I knew I wasn't supposed to say this, but it was nice seeing you again today, Sena. Surprisingly, Sena responded.
僕もすごく嬉しいなんでだろう君に会うのは初めてのはずなのにねそれになんか
He looked as though he was about to say something, but he stopped.
なんでもない気持ちの整理がうまくいかないよ
What was it? Oh, that's right. After whispering that, I decided to ask him about what I'd just seen. Just before I got here, you were talking to a girl, right?
ああレイカちゃんだねあの子僕の友達の彼女さんなんだ
So it's true.
今日は彼に会いに行くんだってすっごく嬉しそうに言っていたよ友達から僕のことを聞いていたみたいでささっきが初めてだったから驚いちゃった
Huh? The first time?
まったくこうようなやつ僕に何も言わないなんてな
I stared dumbfounded as Sena muttered the words to himself. So, Sena's never met Reika before. Maybe Koyo had a shy side and was embarrassed to tell his friend. Or perhaps Koyo was working so hard to help Sena cross over and finding me after the accident. How could it be that someone so full of compassion didn't seem to care about his girlfriend's death? Could it be that he didn't know about Reika being dead? But even still, someone that important, even after death, you'd think he'd want to at least keep tabs on her. True, I'd only known Koyo for a few days, but he'd never mentioned anything about her. Perhaps he knew about her death, but didn't want to burden Sena and me with it? Well, that was certainly possible, but I was left with a strange feeling in my heart. Sena's perspective. After leaving the station, I headed to the shopping mall where I was left with a sudden realization. I forgot to ask that girl her name. I moaned aloud, filled with regret. I had no idea if I'd ever see her again, but why didn't I ask her? I couldn't think of another time I regretted not asking someone for their name so much. Why was I so hung up on this? The girl said we'd met before. She said every day, actually. But that wasn't possible. I was in the city yesterday. But she mentioned looking at the stars with Koyo. How strange. I felt a searing pain in my chest. Without thinking, I fell to the floor. What is this? What is this pain? Before? Again. The girl, when I met her before, I felt the strangest sense of déjà vu. As I thought about her, the pain subsided until it was like it was never there. Back to Misa. After parting ways with Sena, I began walking through various places in the city. Where could they be? I was searching for the various remaining pieces of the career survey. How many do I still need to find? From the looks of it, there only seemed to be a few more pieces left. For now, I just needed to keep looking. Where haven't I checked yet? Let's go to the shopping mall. Maybe there was a piece in the place I wouldn't expect. I mean, there was one in the cafe. With that thought in mind, I decided to check the whole mall before ending up at the arcade. No way there'd be a piece in here. Just as I was about to leave, I caught sight of Sena standing by the crane game. What's he doing here? It's nice to see you again, Sena.
君か。今日はこれで2度目だね。君と会うたびにどうしてだか嬉しいって思うんだから不思議だよ。
Hearing that, I realized that part of me must live in his memories somewhere, which made me happy too. So, what are you doing here by the crane game?
これを見ていたんだ。殿だまるっていうアニメのぬいぐるみ。
He was gazing deeply at a little stuffed doll from the popular anime Tonodamaru. Do you like Tonodamaru?
幼い頃から大好きなんだ。欲しいけど、僕はこういうの下手でさ。今度、友達に撮ってもらおうかな。その人すっごいゲームうまいんだよね。
I wonder if he's talking about Koyo.
ねえねえ、これから少し暇かな。
Yep, sure. I sure am.
よかった。君と話したいなって思ってたんだ。君と話してると楽しくてさ。いいかな。
Oh, of course. Sena's invitation to talk made me very happy, and I quickly tried to think of a topic. What should we talk about? Love? I guess we're going down the line. So, Sena, as an idol, I've heard that you can't date openly. Is that really true?
事務所から言われてるよ。でも、あんまり気にしてないんだよね。
Really? Is that okay?
いや、恋愛よりも仕事ってなってるから気にしてないっていう意味。
Ah, I see.
でも君がそういう質問してくるってことは、もしかして僕のことを気にして？
Hmm? Why would you say that?
もうなんでそこでとぼけるのさ。そうですとか言ってほしかったな。
And what would you have done if I said yes? If I say yes?
ん
Yikes. Does that mean he doesn't like me?
君になら嬉しいな。
What did you say?
なんでもない。
Uh, Despite looking everywhere I could think of, I couldn't find another piece of the printout. I wanted to find another sheet before I tried interacting with the spirit board. Of course, my main objective was to ask the spirit board about Sayaka, but I would have liked to have asked about the printout too. That was what I thought. Then I heard a voice echo down the hallway toward me. Was that Reika just now? Involuntarily, I began to shake. As I approached the door, I heard the voice of the person Reika was speaking to. That sounds like Yui.
あ、そう。ならいいもん。
彼女に何の用があって？
レイカとの約束を守っていないみたいだから、そのことについて話したかったの。でも、もういいかな。今日彼に会うし。
彼？
そうなの。大好きな彼に会う日なんだ。これ以上はもう我慢できないから。思いっきり抱きしめて、キスをして、いつまでも仲良く暮らすの。この写しようで。彼女に会ったら伝えておいて。もう邪魔しないでって。それじゃあね。
After hearing Reika's footsteps trail off into the distance, Yui came through the door of the nurse's office.
あら、いたのね。追い払っておいてよかったわ。
Why did you do that? Yui stared at me thoughtfully before turning her gaze away.
彼女からよからぬ空気を感じたのよ。あれは放っておけば。
Her voice trailed off, and she quickly turned to face me again.
勝手に返してしまったけれど、大丈夫だったかしら。
It was more than okay. You really helped me out. Thank you.
そう、それならよかったわ。それにしても、彼女が思いを寄せている人のことを思うと気の毒ね。愛情が重そうだわ。
But isn't it good that she's got a boyfriend? Yui's face warped in confusion.
恋人？
Yeah, it seems like they really are a couple. I mean, that's what she says anyway.
本当に恋人なのかしら。私には彼女が一方的に思いを募らせているように見えたのだけれど。
What makes you say that?
彼女、余裕がないように思えたから。
Hearing Yui say it, it struck me as true. Ever since we first met, she was always peppering me with nosy questions. I assumed it was because the two of them were a couple. I didn't think it was because she wanted to prevent another girl from taking him.
彼、ものすごく優しいから。困っている人を見たら放っておけないの。そういう人だって理解はしてるよ。彼を理解できるのはレイカだけだもん。
I doubt she understands him. Could it be that Reika was just out of control? I hope Koyo's okay. Once my feelings of concern were kindled, I couldn't stop them, and I rushed out of the nurse's office to find him. Dashing out into the hallway, I was shocked to find Koyo already there. Well, you scared me. As soon as he saw me, he let out a sigh of relief.
無事でよかった。
Huh? Koyo looked at me before opening his mouth and speaking hesitantly.
ちょっと問題が起きて。あんたにとばっちりがあったら大変だって思ってきただけ。
Could it be? Is this about Reika? Koyo's eyes widened with surprise. His reaction alone told me that was exactly what this was about.
あいつ、あんたに会いに来たの？
Yes, I first met her a few days ago. She said you're her boyfriend.
それは絶対にないから。
Hearing him deny it so firmly, I knew immediately that Yui's previous assertion was correct.
でもそっか。あいつの目撃情報が他でもあったけど、真偽がわからなくて。あんたの言葉で、レイカがうつしようにいるって分かってよかった。
That was good. When I looked inquisitively at Koyo, his expression changed in an instant.
ようやく殺せる。
He whispered so quietly, I would have missed it had I not been hanging onto his every word. Did you say kill? Koyo seemed unconcerned with my words.
なんでもない。あんたには関係ないことだから。あんた、これから何するの？
I was going to head back into town and look for more pieces of my career survey.
ならついていく。一人にしてレイカに襲われたら大変だから。
Attack? That seems like an exaggeration. I got a weird vibe from her, sure, but she seemed harmless. Koyo took a step toward me, a stern, almost angry look on his face.
大げさじゃない。いいから言うことを聞いて。
What's the big deal? What makes her so dangerous? Given how serious he was, I couldn't help but ask.
あんたは知らなくていい。
It was the same response as before.
お願いだから一人にならないで。何かあってからじゃ遅いから。
Fine.
後でセナの様子見に行ってもいい？
Ah, that's right. Now that you mention it, I saw Reika with Senna yesterday. Koya's face fell, and he quickly grabbed me by the hand.
ごめん。セナのとこ先に行かせて。
Okay, let's go. With Koyo's hand in mine, we rushed to find Senna. As Koyo expected, we found Senna in the park.
あれ？君、紅葉と知り合いだったんだ。
Seeing Senna stare at us with a bewildered look on his face, Koyo let out a loud sigh of relief.
紅葉？どうしちゃったの？
Well...
レイカって女に会ったでしょ。あれ危険人物だから近づかないで。だって紅葉の恋人だって、そうレイカちゃんから聞いていたのに。それ全部嘘。あいつは俺のストーカーだから。
A stalker? From when he was alive? I knew that everything Reika said up to that point might have been a lie, but Reika has said she loved Koyo before she died. And when I heard that, I wondered if she might have killed herself to follow him in death. The more I thought about it, the more that seemed to make sense. As these thoughts ran through my mind, Koyo turned to me with a look of concern.
セナに襲いかかるってのはあんまり心配してないけど。彼女が紅葉と仲良しなら狙われるのはそうなるよね。
All eyes were on me. You think I'm in the most danger?
セナはなよなよしてはいるけど、男だからなんとかなる。でもあんたは違う。なよなよってひどいな。これでも筋トレしてきてるんだから、体作りはバッチリだよ。俺がレイカと決着つけるから、それまでは一人で行動しないで。それなら僕が彼女についているよ。
Really? You don't mind?
いいっていうか、そうしたいんだ。心配でたまらないからね。
I felt bad for troubling him, but his words filled my heart with joy. Even though from his perspective we only met today, he seems to care about me. Well, that might be overstating it.
そうしてくれると助かる。サンキュー、セナ。俺はレイカと決着つけてくるわ。
Koyo spoke with a determined smile on his face. I felt a sharp pang in my chest. I hope he'll be all right. Together, we went back to school. Then, after all the students and staff left, we headed to the appropriate classroom to use the spirit board. I told him I could concentrate better on my own and asked him to wait outside. Then I placed the sheet with letters written on it and the coin I got from Hibiki on the desk. I took a deep breath and placed my finger on the coin. According to Hibiki, the one who moved the coin on the board was a spirit of some kind. A kind, gentle male spirit. He assured me nothing scary would happen. With his assurances in mind, I began the ritual. Oh, spirit of the board, it's time to respond. Send me a message from somewhere beyond. If you're here, answer me by saying yes. Suddenly I heard an echo from the room, as though something had burst forth from another time and place. Oh, is this a new character? Have we met this one? Just then my finger began to move, and a stranger appeared before me. Oh, yeah, Ah! I was so surprised I almost took my finger off the coin. The being in front of me grabbed me by the wrist. He leered at me, and I nodded in response. Right. I kept my finger on the coin, and he placed his finger there as well before moving the coin to yes. Is that? Are you the spirit of the board? Sorry, I just didn't expect you to, appear like this. I see. I guess that makes sense. I can't imagine there are a lot of people who decide to play with a spirit board after death. But still, Hibiki had told me that the spirit would be kind and gentle. This guy, on the other hand, didn't seem anything like that. I straightened my back and looked at the spirit directly in the eye. I want to ask about my friend. I believe a girl dressed in a uniform like mine called you recently, right? I want you to tell me about what the two of you discussed. Huh? What? Wait, already? Oh, but there's another character? Then coming from the side, a man in a magnificent kimono interrupted us. Oh, there's someone else here too. The man turned his gaze toward me before flashing a friendly smile. Okay, thought that was a new character. I didn't recognize this character from any of the other playthroughs. A guardian spirit? So you're a spirit too then? I guess these two spirits know each other. Well, they are both spirits after all. Sorry. Please wait just one more minute. There's something else I want to ask. He seems pretty short-tempered. I should hurry up and ask him what I need to. What I want to ask is, what is Sayaka trying to do? What was it that Sayaka was trying to ask the spirit of the board about? Perhaps the problem was the way I asked the question before. About my friend, the one I asked before. Can you tell me why she summoned you? The spirit closed his eyes in thought and then began to speak quietly.
お前を連れ戻そうとしてだ。俺に聞いてきたのはその方法。
A way to bring me back? I thought on what Hibiki told me.
それが本当ならお願いします。どうか私をあの世に導いて。今もさまよっているはずの私の親友に会わせてください。
When Sayaka spoke to my sister, she told me she wanted to save me. Is she seriously trying to bring me back from the dead? Is that even possible? There was just no way.
俺が言えるのはそれだけだ。
まったく意地悪だの。連れ戻そうとしているのは何故か教えてやらんのか。
聞かれたことだけに答える。それが掟なんだよ。聞きたいことはそれで終わりか。
Sorry, I just need a little more time. What I wanted to ask was the truth of the accident. The truth is, I was in an accident a little while ago. It was such a shock, I only have a vague memory of what happened before and after. At the time of the accident, I think someone pushed me. Please, tell me about the person that pushed me. I was convinced Sayaka was innocent, but I still had questions. Was I pushed on accident? Or was I pushed by something unseen? The spirit pondered my question for some time before muttering a response.
いない。
Huh? What do you mean? Did I really fall into the road myself?
それも違う。それも違う。いいえだ。
Using his finger, he guided the coin over to the word no on the paper.
悩んでおるの。だがこれが言うのは本当のこと。こっくりさんは嘘をつけんからの。お主の背中を押した人はいなかったのだ。
As he spoke, he cast his vision above my head. I followed his gaze, but was unable to see anything. Then I inhaled sharply. Something I can't see. Who invites me into the darkness? What pushed me was no person. Okay, so not someone, but did something push me into the street? The spirit board locked eyes with me and nodded gently. Part of me had expected this answer, yet it still sent a chill running down my spine. Am I possessed by something?
そう悪いものではない。お主のそばにいるのは神の類。
A god? Like a god?
おい、あまり口を滑らせるな。何かされても知らねえぞ。
やれるものならやってみればいい。我は神なんて怖くないもん。
Please tell me, was the one who caused me to get into that accident a god?
そういうことになるの。はてさて、どういう腹積もりなのか。お主のことを試しているのかもしれん。この困難をどう乗り越えるかと。探しましょう。あなたの道を。これから先は困難しかありません。でもどうか諦めないで。前を向ければ必ず見つかります。あなただけの道が。
What the guardian spirit said made sense in the context of the words spoken to me before.
神によって写し代から隠されるとはな。神隠しにでも合わされたか。
Spirited away? It was just like Sayaka said before.
こういう各地の伝承と同じようにね、成見ヶ浜も昔から神隠しが多い土地って言われてるんだよ。精神的に参っていたり大きな悩みを抱えている人が神隠しに遭いやすいってところ。あなたは大丈夫？大きな悩み抱えてない？
Could it really be that Narigahama is a place where instances like that really happen. Could I really have been spirited away? I had my fair share of troubles, but were they really so intense that a god would take notice?
聞きたいことはそれで終わりか。
I knew there were two questions I wanted to ask him, but my head was a mess. I had been spirited away by a god who wanted to see if I could overcome the challenges in front of me to find my own path. Even though it was impossible, Sayaka was trying to bring me back from the dead. Then the spirit board let out a small sigh.
お前は勘違いしてんだよ。
Mistaken?
おやー、聞かれたことのみ答えるのが掟ではなかったかな。
Oh, I like these two.
うるせえ。
If I was mistaken, where was I mistaken? Trying to find the answer, I spoke, thinking aloud. I was told by this god that I would have to go through trials to find the path I was meant to take. I had been frustrated with my future up until that point, so I had a feeling I was on the right track there. My friend said that she wanted to bring me back from the world of the dead. She wanted to meet me to apologize for what she did to me. That's impossible, of course. You can't raise the dead.
なるほど。お主は死んでいるのか。
Huh?
誰がお前を死んだと言った？
知っている人もいるかもしれないが、昨日つくも神社前にある交差点で交通事故があった。
私あなたを事故に遭わせてしまって本当にごめんなさい。
なあ、気に病む時間よりもミサのために何ができるか考えよう。
Nobody said that I was dead. Actually, that's not true. The only people who told me I was dead were the other ghosts. Could it be? I thought the thought sent chills running through me. I pressed my finger down even more firmly on the coin. My voice quivered as I spoke. Am I really dead? Am I really dead? The spirit didn't say anything. He quietly moved the coin across the board. No. I felt my chest seize up. There was no heartbeat in this chest. Still, somewhere out there, my heart continued to beat. Does that mean I'm alive?
肉体こそまだ死んでなくても、お前の魂は体に戻れてね。
わかりやすく言えば、今のお主は完全なる死者でもなければ聖者でもない。それを生き量という。
Suddenly confronted with this new reality, I couldn't keep my head on straight. But one thing became very clear to me. I can return to the world of the living. I could go back to where Sayaka and my family were. I could go home.
生き返りたかったら、体を見つけた上で戻る手段を講じなきゃならねえ。
Take the proper steps. If this was indeed a challenge from a god, there would be some significance in how I could return. The first thing that came to mind was my future. With one hand, I took the career survey from inside my pocket. This paper was what helped me start to regain my memory. And as I started to regain my memory, I began thinking about the path Sayaka and I were planning to take. My own path. If I didn't find my own way forward, I knew I'd never be able to return home. In all honesty, there was part of me that was quite angry with this god. But this chance encounter had helped me reshape things in my mind. I looked over at the guardian spirit. He had been very clear this wasn't an evil god that was doing this to me.
なんじゃぼんやりとして。大きなことに気づけたのだから、もっと喜ぶべきであろう。
It's complicated, but I am very glad to know the truth. I made eye contact with both of them and bowed deeply. Thank you both very much for your helpful words and advice.
ま、達者でな。
良い人生を送るのだぞ。
Thank you. Just as I was about to say my parting words to them, the spirit of the board stopped me.
待て。一つ、俺からも教えてほしいことがある。
Of course. What is it?
お前にこの道具を譲った者はどんな様子だった？
I wonder if he means Hibiki. He didn't give these items to me. He merely let me borrow them. They seemed very important to him. Hibiki, that is. He seems a little lonely, but he also seems to have a bright side about him, too. I didn't quite know how to say what I wanted to say, but the spirit merely smiled.
そうか。それならいい。教えてくれて感謝する。
Perhaps there was a history between them. Either way, it was none of my business, and I merely nodded politely in return. Okay, so we're still spirited away. I guess that's what's consistent about all the storylines. Although here I was mistaken, and they lead you to believe that you actually died. So, yeah, kind of interesting. Anyway, this is meowmurai. You've been watching 9 R.I.P, not running on Nintendo Switch 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.